Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be on with you today here in NS Training, and the topic that we're going to cover tonight, I'm certain that you guys are excited to cover. But I'm going to wait until a few of you join me. Let me know where you're plugging in from. This is the opportunity for you to click the share button right now and remind your people that we are starting our training. Okay, so I'm going to give you just a few minutes to do that. And hi, Carrie. So great having you on. Hi, Haley. Where are you guys joining from? Cindy's in the house and Carrie's in the house. Great having all of you guys on. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a crazy month. February, fabulous February month. And you know what? It starts with an F. So focus right now on this skill set. The month of February should be all about follow up. All right. I'm going to read this to you guys because I just pulled these stats up on our skill set, our sales, skills that we do every day. This will blow your mind. And I'm going to tell you, I'm right up there guilty with the rest of you. 48, so nearly 50% of you will never follow up with a prospect. Prospect is two people, right? Somebody that you've even, voiced interest in having a conversation with them about the business. Or 50% of you won't follow up with somebody you've talked about a product with. Now let's keep going. All the way down, it goes down, down, down. 80% of you, are made. So 80% of our sales to our customers are made on the 5th or the 6th exposure. So let me read those again. This is mind-blowing. 50% of you will never follow up with a prospect, whether it's a customer or a business partner. Only 10% of you will make more than 5 connections. Yeah, only 10% within the first month of your business. And 80% of our sales occur on the 5th or 6th exposure to the product or business. 80%. In fact, I would say that right now, guys, looking at that stat and what we're going to cover tonight is it's usually the 6th to the 8th exposure in regards to business when you're talking to somebody about possibly partnering with you in this business. We're going to talk about follow-up. This is the month, you guys, for follow-up. I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you an app that I have been using to organize all of my people. And I'm going to just here's my tip. I put all of them in the same folder, and it's titled follow-up. And I'll tell you later why I put them all there. Okay, so it doesn't matter to me if they're customers or they're people that I'm prospecting for a business partner, because personally, I would say 2 maybe out of 10 people that I drip on might have what it takes to partner with me. Did you hear me? Not that I wait for the yes from them, because I use the interview model. I'm in the driver's seat of my global business, as you are. I think that there's too many of us that memorize scripts and they shout it out to every single person that has legs, seriously. And who doesn't have legs, it just doesn't matter. Whoever's willing to listen, seriously. And that just takes the value away from what it is that we have to offer people. So I'm saying I might talk to 10 people, but I won't give the green light to probably more than 1 or 2 people that, okay, this is a good fit. After this whole process, you and I together, I think this is going to be magnificent partnering together on this. Okay. So that was my little quote I wanted to read you. I will tell you about the app that I'm using now, because where do we go? 100% of the time, we have what with us? We have our cell phone with us. I used to, back in the day, be one of those people that had a card filing system. Every single month, I had a card filing system. And so this month, these were my sales. These are the people I'm dripping on. And I would make notes and I would move them. Well, I don't take my card file with me everywhere. I mean, if you do, good for you. You can use the card filing system. The other thing that I'm big on is note taking. I take notebooks, and it's my follow-up, my prospect list, my customer list, and I will, same thing, keep notes. Many of you guys are currently do that, but how many times have you had some downtime when you're in your car waiting for your kid at school and you forgot to bring your folder or your notebook? So I'm going to encourage that you guys step it up a little bit with your follow-up system and use a free app that I'll tell you about it. You're going to be excited. So a follow-up, when you think in terms of follow-up, now that we're coming out of January, which was all about recruiting, when you think of follow-up, throw some things down there in the comments. Who is it that are our audience of people that we should follow up with? Who do you follow up with? Throw it down there in the comments. Who do you think you ought to follow up with? Put that down there so we can all learn together. And then I'm going to ask you, as you guys are commenting right now, when you prospect someone as to looking at the business or looking at the products, how long do you go by before you follow up with them? Remember, 50% of you won't even follow up with the person. And I'm telling you, I'm the worst at it. I'm a queen at recruiting and dripping content on people. And then I'll throw them in my phone or in my notes section. Or now that I'm going to use that app, maybe I can do better at really up in the game for follow-up. So February, you guys, is going to be all about tips and tricks on how we follow up with our people. And you're going to play the game with me. I want to know from some of you, what have you changed in your business regarding follow-up that you're doing that seems to be working? What do you do? I think that simplifying a strategy, keeping it silly, stupid, simple, all right, is going to make people feel like they can follow up more with their people. So there's three parts to a follow-up strategy. You guys ready for this? The first one is, what is your strategy for follow-up? What is your strategy for follow-up? And I love that you guys are commenting. I think that you first need to understand that, just think of it this way. Imagine if you and I followed up with all of our prospects, customers, and people consistently, that our business might be 25% or more bigger. I know, it's crazy. A straightforward follow-up strategy that you and I can remember on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is the way to go. And then the strategy needs to be with you at all times. So I'm going to encourage you that you up the game and you go to more like a cell phone app approach that lets you set notes and notification deadlines. So it can remind you and I. So let's talk about that. I love, which I've just started, a 2+2+2 approach to follow-up. Watch this. When you drip on someone, product or business partner, anything, you are going to follow up with that person in the multiple different ways that you can follow up with them in 2 days. Okay, so if you're using the app, you can say, game on, my notification is I'm going to follow up with Amy Soud in 2 days. I get the notification on my phone from the app saying today's the day that you put in your notification app that you're going to follow up with Amy. And I can even put the notes, what it was that I sent her. So she happens to be, I'm Dripping business partner. This has been a 3-month process, and I'll explain why. But then, so that's, I'm going to follow up with her in 2 days. After that, you're going to follow up with that person after maybe receiving some more questions. You're going to follow up with that person in 2 weeks. So 2 days, 2 weeks to a month. Okay. And then to 2 months. That's the basic approach, guys. Think about that. And it's always that way. If it's just customers, 222. If it's a customer that buys the Lumi Spa from you, it is our obligation to follow up with them 2 days after purchase, all right? Or 2 days after you dripped information on them, or that you messaged a video on the Lumi Spa, or that you sent a before and after picture and said, girl, I thought that you'd be blown away when you see the results to this handy dandy at-home device that everybody's raving about. Look at these results. You don't get any response. What do? You wait 2 days and you follow up. Did you get a chance to read that article that I sent you? Crazy results. #1 voted beauty at-home device right now. It's every home needs to have one of these. I mean, my girls and I fight over it. All right. So customers, let's just talk customers right now. We're all horrible at following up with our customers. I'm probably the worst of all of you. I can sell products and then I forget, and then I make my customers reach out to me when they're out. That's a bad follow-up strategy with your customers. Y'all need to put all of your customers on this app that I'm going to tell you about. And you need to make note, if you haven't made note, what they purchased from you and when. Put it in there. And all you're going to do the month of February is you're going to start dripping on them. You're going to follow up with them, and it may be something like this. Hey, it's been 6 months since you purchased that whitening paste for me. Just wanted to say, was thinking about you. Hope you're doing fantastic. Okay. You're not going to go in for the sale because you failed at following up and servicing your customers. I should say you and I, we all failed. Okay. So we're going to start over, right? So think of your strategy is very, very simple. Customers, 222. You're going to follow up with them 2 days after you sold a product to them, and see how they're doing on the product. Okay. Or you're going to follow up with them 2 days after you gave them information about a particular product. Maybe you talked to them about what is your daily skincare regime, or maybe you sent them a good article on how to determine if you're sensitive skin, oily skin, or normal to dry, whatever. You're going to follow up with them 2 days. Okay. They purchase a product from you, 2 days, then 2 weeks, just thinking about you. I have a great referral program that I'm putting in place. I know that last time I followed up with you, you said you couldn't believe the results with the Lumi Spa. How would you like to enter into my VIP referral program? And I'll give you all the words to say, the pictures to say, and you post it and you tag me in it. And guess what? Your cleanser, your next cleanser, you're going to get my cost, girlfriend. Seriously. So those are the kind of things I want you to think of. All right. What you'll do is follow up with a qualified prospect 2 days from the initial time that you met with them. Now, that was strategy. What kind of things can you do to follow up 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months? The average exposure to somebody that you're dripping business on is sometimes 7 to 10 times, because it's not our job to convince people to come into this business. Our job is to answer their question so they can make a good business decision. That's why I never drip, just info, begging and waiting at the edge of my seat. If they say yes, and I'm all nervous, and I'm nervous that they're going to say no. That's why I interview. That's why I open with a compliment. Why it is that I'm reaching out to you, Amy, is I've watched you run your store. She's one of my favorite boutique store owner, or not owners, managers. And she happens to be from Korea. She has a past. I could just share my whole story with you. This has been 9 months of building a relationship with her. And I've watched how she is with her customer base. And I've asked her just a few questions because I'm interested in knowing, what did you do before this, before managing a clothing store? Oh, I was, one of the highest producers in real estate. Really? Okay. So the conversation, the trusting relationship began to finally following up and saying, okay, girl, when are we going to get this party started? I walked in because we've already had the conversation about the connections in Korea. We've already had the conversations that when you told me you put your mind to something, you can sell anything. But of course, you've got to believe in it, right? I've given you information. I've given you places to go to check out our product platform. I'm not going to hold your hand. Check it out. And then I'd like to sit down with you and ask you a few questions and really see if we're going to do this thing together. So this last Sunday, we sat and had coffee with her, and she's just frothing. Okay, what do I do? How do I get signed up? I'm ready to go. This was Sunday. What's today? Tuesday. Text me everything. I'm ready to go. I didn't. You know what my text to her was? Let me tell you what my text to her was. It's called posture. And I said to her, just like a few hours ago, let me know if you are serious about partnering with me. I believe that you have what it takes to be crazy successful, but I want this to be 100% your decision. So I already validated, we've already talked multiple times, and now I'm giving her permission to come back at me and say, okay, yes, I am ready to go. Then when we get the account set up, then we have another meeting about setting the expectation of our partnership. That's another training. If you guys want to know what I do on that, let me know. This is about follow-up. So when you're following up with the people that you're dripping on, both about business and both about products, let me give you some examples of how to follow up. It can't always be about you. If it's about the product, and say you talked about, you've been talking about the product, what about sending them a thank you note for the purchase of the product or the Lumi Spa or whatever that they purchased from you? What happened to the thank you note? Seriously, you guys, what if you put aside a 1 hour chunk of time a week, and all that is follow-up thank you hour? Thanking the people that have allowed you to service them as a customer with nothing in return, nothing. Maybe sometimes you throw in a little, blurb on the new Power Lips color. Maybe you don't. I don't know if I would, because you can message all that. But a thank you goes a long way with loyalty. Your customers will be repeat customers if you are interested in them. So how about sending them just a thank you note? How about sending them a private voice message if they responded to you after you gave them a compliment about how dynamic they are and that you've enjoyed following their posts and watching them on social media? And maybe you send them a voice message when maybe they responded to your friend request after you getting to know them. Oh my gosh, Amy, I just wanted to say thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I mean, I'm sorry, but I feel like I've been stalking you. I just love all your energy online, and I can't imagine that you are as fabulous in person. So looking forward to getting to know you a little bit more and your dreams and desires of what you want to do in the next couple of years. Some things like that. You're just starting, you're just dripping. What about just a private message and you're sending a product video to some of your customers that show results? I mean, just because they buy whitening toothpaste doesn't mean that they know what it is or know much about it. Find a fun Joe Chang or short little info video. Find an article on the importance of brushing your teeth twice and just say, hey, just thinking about you, thought this was a great article. You know, find an article on children and brushing your teeth and tartar and sugar buildup, whatever, and say, hey, I know you have children, just thought you might be interested in this article. So things of value. How about this one? If you're dripping business on people, and if you're yet there, how about, hey, I respect you as a business person, and I'm happen to be working on a project with my company right now because we're getting ready to expand into Peru, and I just wanted to run some ideas by you. Are you open to giving me some of your business suggestions? And just leave it open-ended. Don't say anything. And then when they respond, then go in and give them your ideas of what your plan of action is, opening up another market. Okay, so now we talked strategies. Put your strategies in place. Now this, okay, and then the average interactions that, again, I've mentioned it before, that you have to have with someone before they even come into business with you is between 7 and 12. I know I said 7 to 10 earlier, but nowadays people are dripped on all the time about things. I would guess that 75% of you stop exposing information to your next business prospect, usually after the third, most of you after the first time, because you get sad that they said no to you, okay, or they didn't respond to a phone call. Okay, 7 to 12 times that you expose and drip information on them, waiting for them to make the decision to join you. Seriously, what other information do you need? And the only way that you're going to know is by asking questions. I just sent off a couple bottles of ageLOC Youth to a couple in California today, and when I met them, oh, she was just a lovey-dovey. She believed every word I said. She didn't care about reading any information on it. So I knew that she was going to be forever loyal to taking the ageLOC Youth after I told her all the testimonies, the many testimonies of what ageLOC Youth can do for you. But the hubby, he was Mr. Analytical, asking all these questions and science. And I said, listen, I am so not a scientist, but I know that, you know, if you trust this process, you're absolutely going to be blown away when you see the results of this product. But what I'll do for you is I'll throw in there the product information page and some information on where you can get more science and read clinical studies on it. Are you cool? And he kind of giggled. So it's kind of getting to know the needs of your customers, getting to know the needs of your potential business partners. Some are ready to jump in your arm the day you meet them. Some are not. It's not for you to decide. So you got to be willing to take that strategy, that approach with them. It's kind of strange. Somebody messaged me today, Traci, when you're prospecting, will you just shoot me over a cut and paste message of exactly what you send to them? And I couldn't respond, because every single person that I drip this business on, honestly, you guys, is different from one another. They really are, because it's based on how they answer my questions. I can instantly tell that all they want to read is everything about the pay plan. I can tell that. So I can tell if someone's, once they develop a relationship, a trusting relationship with me, I can tell after just a few conversations that they really, really care about being a part of something. So then my approach is going to be totally different. It's going to be, oh my gosh, would you be open to meeting some of my really fun partners so that you know that you make a good fit? Tonight, yes, I'll send you a Zoom link. You're going to be on a Zoom call with one of my business partners, Dawn Marie, and let me tell you, I'm going to warn you now because you think I'm fun. She's really fun. And then we get on there and all we do is validate this person about the importance of our community and our culture. You guys with me? I think if you guys learned to ask more questions and be interested in the person, you will recruit more business partners, especially if you apply the interview approach and make them feel hand selected. And I'm authentic. I am authentic. You can ask all of my partners. In fact, if you're at an event and you see us all, we're very similar. We're all very similar. We want to love people where they're at. We want to crawl up in their laps. We want to support each other's individual journeys to this business. And that is just the way we roll. We want to bring in people that might need a little shining off and they need some self-development, because we certainly don't want to give up and close the door on anyone. So yes, will we give people an opportunity to come into our bubble? We will. The risk is, you ready for this? You can't fix the unfixable. You cannot fix the person that's going to blame you for the lack of their success. Am I the only one that can relate to that? You know what I'm talking about when you get the messages, or you get a third party message that said, well, Traci, she really feels like, she just throw it all in. She said that she messaged you with a question yesterday and you've yet to answer. And it's like, excuse me? And she's going to quit. I would think that maybe this business isn't for her, because this is her business. It's not my business. I'm serious, guys. Get firm. When you lay out how your business relationship is going to go down is after you chose them. That's okay. You choose them. Okay. Write it down. This is my approach right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of swaying from our follow-up, but I really want you to understand this. You choose them. How do you choose them? You know exactly what you're looking for. I don't know what that is for you. I look for dynamic. I look for friendly. I look for people who appear to me to be present with their people. I look for people that are online savvy. I look for people for sure, positive. They don't gossip about other people. They don't live in their past. You know what I'm talking about? What they do is they take the adversity and the yuck that they've gone through in their life, and they use it as an opportunity to grow themselves into the beautiful person that they're meant to be. And I know you know what I mean. Anytime I have a conversation with someone and they live in that, and I grew up in a trailer and never met my dad, and my sister hates me, and my husband 3 times before cheated on me, and I just can't get over it. You know what I'm saying? So get out of your own way, okay? So you choose, number 1. You choose. Number 2, you set up the interview. And it's most of the time, it sounds something like this. Girlfriend, I do not know where you learned those people skills, but we've got to have a future conversation. Seriously, because I love you. I mean, did you go to school for sales? How are you so good? I mean, I've been watching you. You probably think I'm staring at you, but I'm really not. I'm just really, I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with blah, 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 blah. We got to talk, because I think I got something for you. And this is what I do. You guys ready? I don't put them in my contacts. I go to my app that I'm going to tell you about. But before the app, I would go into my notes and I would go new note and I'd go, Amy Soud, oh my gosh, she works at blah, blah, blah. I talked to her on this date and I think would be fantastic because she is just energetic and she's really positive, blah, blah, blah. And your phone number is Amy? And I do that, okay? That was the old way that I would create my follow-up system. Well, now I use notes for a lot of other stuff, and so it gets sometimes lost. So I'm going to tell you about an app in a moment, but I can't tell you yet. So you choose, you interview, you make them feel like you hand selected them. So you compliment it on your first exposure. And then when you have that moment to interview, you're going to say, oh, girl, sell yourself to me. I just want to know that my instincts were right about you because I think you're amazing. And I don't know if you're fully utilizing those skills. Are you with me? I'm setting myself up. Then she sells to me. She tells me, well, you know, I have been in retail for quite a number of time. In fact, I was top salesperson at the Gap, and they just sell. Really? So do you like that? And so let them tell you how much they love sales. And then, oh, you were a manager. Like, how many people did you manage? Oh, 20. And that was like, did you really enjoy that? Was that one of your favorite things that you got to do, was to actually train people and blah, blah, blah? Are you with me, people? I'm answering in a way so that when it's time to say, I just knew it. I so knew it. Let me just give you a smidge about the type of person that I'm looking for. I think it's you. I really do. This is what I'm up to. This is what I do. I'm just a liaison to the customer in need. I got the product platform that everybody's talking about. I got the company platform that will blow any company out of the water. And I got the partnership. So that's what we do, okay? So now, systems. You guys ready for this one? Where did it go? Okay, so systems, you want to, because we're all awful at it, and it's okay to wake up every day and agree that we are going to get better every single day, especially in February, fabulous February follow-up month, at our follow-up strategies. I'm starting too. And because I used to be a notebook and then lots and lots of business cards that thrown all over or in drawers or in don't even get me started. Scribbled on paper. Are you with me? We all do it. So it's the month. It's the month to create a system for your follow-up. 222. If it's a customer, you're going to follow up with them 2 days later. Check in with them. Any other questions you have about that? 2 weeks later, throw some content at them of value, of benefits. Send them a thank you card. Nurture that relationship. You do the same thing for your potential business partners. 10 out of 10 people should be a customer of yours if you approach it the right way. 1, maybe 2, if you're really good, have what it takes to enter your business. But you won't know that until you take them through the interview process, okay? The system. You guys ready for the app? The app that I like that allows me to put people in, take notes about that person, how I met them, take notes on that new customer, what they purchased, and then here's the deal. It lets you set reminders of when you're going to follow up with them. The app name is called Asana. Very, very cool. Somebody type it for me. It's called Asana, ASANA. It is amazing. You can create different folders. Makes sense? So you can create a team folder, you know, like a challenge, and put your people, you know, that you want to collaborate with in the team challenge, setting notifications. You can create a follow-up. You can even, you can even separate it, because I put all of my people I'm dripping on in the follow-up folder, whether it's a customer or it's a business prospect. It doesn't matter to me because they all equal volume, okay? I just want to put them in the follow-up, okay, folder so that I can set notifications when it is that I'm going to follow up with them. I think maybe it would be important to have a folder that are of existing customers. What would you name that folder? Existing customers that you have. You either have them in your back office, you have them on PayPal, you have them somewhere on a piece of paper, you have them on Venmo, you know what I'm saying? Facebook Pay. What would you call that? I think it's a good thing because we're bad at following up with our customers, and that's why we don't have customer loyalty. So you guys think on that and put it below. Existing customer follow-up, maybe just an ECFU. EC, right? Existing customer FU. Yeah. ECFU folder. That's for every person that's ever bought a product from you. Oh, we're going to do big volume, you guys, when we dial this in. Asana. Anybody type in there? Asana is the app. It's free. ASANA. And if you want to go through the training, there are tutorials there. I don't need to tell you much about that, but it's really cool how it's attached to a notification system to remind us, beep, you get the notification, oh, these 5 people bought toothpaste last month. Okay, think about that. Brilliant. Scripts. I'm not a fan of scripts. I'm going to tell you about your follow-up scripts. Oh, I think the worst mistake that I've seen occur in network marketing is people think that they have to memorize a script to follow up. And it's so scripty and it doesn't even sound authentic. But what I am a fan of, write this down. I am a huge fan of writing your own scripts. What do you say to people when you see someone either online or from afar and you just know that you just have to hear their story? Usually when I fall in love with someone that I want to talk to about the business, it's because they're attached to a story. They're attached to adversity. I'm going to say 100% of the time. Yeah. You think this personality just was born this way? I fought it, battled it. And all of that adversity made me into the most amazing person. Yeah, but it required a lot of work. So when you find people like that, be so interested. So scripts, know what you're going to say, write it down. What would you say if you saw someone from afar? What would you say if you walked in to get a cup of coffee at a coffee shop? Are you going to stand there with people standing behind you and throw up all over them? Or are you going to do just a quick, I do this all the time with waitresses and waiters if they have a little bit maybe of that I'm interested in. All the time I do it. All the time I do it. But not everyone. But if they have maybe, they've got something, when they're coming back and checking our water, and I'll say, you do this part-time? Yeah. What do you do full-time? And then you'd be surprised how many people have side gigs and they're doing the waitressing on the side. You can find some great people, taxi or Uber drivers or another one. Start asking questions. Don't be so quick. You got to ask questions to know if you're going to take that next step and say, oh girl, when you come back, you're not going anywhere until I put your name right here. I'm just going to call you so you know I'm not psycho, but we have got to have a cup of coffee in the near future. And I don't call them usually for a week or so, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month, because I don't want to be needy. But what I will do is I will put them in my Asana app, her name, because if I don't take notes next to her name, where I met her and why I love her, then I'll totally forget. And there goes that lead, right? And then I'll put the date in there, when I met her. And I might do a week notification. Text her and tell her that, oh my gosh, you've been crazy, crazy busy, but we got to have coffee. What's your schedule like? And that's all I say, because it's not about me. It's not about new skin. It's not about me selling products yet. It's all about, I got to know everything about you, because there are no mistakes along my life journey. Haven't you ever heard that? No mistakes. And when you can compliment and authentically be interested in hearing about them, I'm going to tell you something, guys. There's been multiple times I will meet someone that I fell in love with from afar, and I think that they've got it all, and we'll meet for coffee or meet for happy hour. You know what? There are many, many, many times I don't even talk about the business relationship. I just want to hear all about them. And I'll sometimes leave because, see, they're thinking that I'm going to come out strong and want to sell them something. No, I just want to start a relationship with you. I'm telling you, I can feel it, when we're conversing. It's like, oh my gosh, this is like a match made in heaven. We have got to stay connected. It was so fun getting to know your story. I knew that there was something that stood out about you, that I just had to learn a little bit more about you and what, your life goals are. Let's for sure stay connected. Good, hug, bye-bye. And then a week later, I'll text her and say, oh my gosh, it was so great meeting you. I knew that all the reasons why I was going to fall in love with you. You've been on my mind. Let's get together again for coffee if you got some time this week. I'd like to, talk some strategy with you. And then just kind of open up that conversation with her. So Asana, okay, is the app. There's probably tons of tasks apps. I just like this one because it allows you to set notifications. Don't be so quick. Don't be so quick to follow up with your prospects, customers, or business people, okay? You're going to create a follow-up strategy, whether it's a notebook, and you're gonna have to compile all the people, if you can remember, that you've sold a product to. And if it's been a while since you have reached out to them, I would simply reach out to them with a simple, hey, just thinking about you, it's been a while. How are things going? That's the best thing that you can do. And I bet you what will happen. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for following up with me. I've been out of that toothpaste for a year now and I need more. You know what I'm saying? So there's my assignment for all of you and me. Let's have some fun in Follow-Up Fabulous February. Pass it on, share it out, and throw it down in the comments if there's any tips that you want to share with the rest of us. Blessings to all of you. Bye-bye.